Hey everybody, good afternoon. Alex, healthhacksreview.com. Just coming at you again, trying to provide another example of false specifications in the whole body vibration field market, however you want to refer to it. So as I talk about on my other videos, you have to be very discerning. A lot of machine specifications you'll read are inaccurate. Yes, it sounds crazy, but it's true. Are there some machines where their specs are accurate? Yes. How many? Maybe 5%. Chances are you're reviewing right now machines and you're trying to do an apples to apples comparison and you do not have good quality information. Okay? So there's not a lot of people kind of blowing the whistle on this. But here we are. Again, I have a third-party validation, beta machinery analysis. This is a betamachinery.com. Welcome to check it out. Anyways, a engineering firm capable of doing these types of easy analysis, basically measuring different types of machines, gears, industrial components to assess their performance. And they're an unbiased third-party validation. Now look at this machine, DZT. Okay, Ultra Vibe. Now you may recognize the shape of this machine. This manufacturer does sell under, I think currently maybe like 3, maybe 4 different brand names. Okay, so there's a lot of rebrands in this industry, FYI. Just because a shell looks the same, it's not always exactly the same inside components, but a good amount of the time it is. Anyways, if you've seen this machine, this is pretty mainly one manufacturer, one factory in China that's making this. All right, so here we are. Let's see on just one of these brands what they're claiming, okay? You may have seen it at a trade show. You may just go right on their website. You might see it on Amazon. All right, so frequency settings. Now remember, they're not saying speed settings. They're saying frequency, okay? That's cycles per second. This is what they're claiming. Not speed settings. People confuse those. Anyway, 0 to 30. Okay, well, you know, that looks impressive if that was true. Okay, that's impressive speed. All right, let's scroll down to Amplitude, 12 millimeters. You see a lot of pivotal machines that are, and this was an oscillation machine, that are 12 millimeters, but 12 millimeters with 30 hertz, wow, that sounds pretty impressive. And what's the cost of this? $24.99. Wow, that's a pretty crazy deal, considering that there's a couple of high-end machines out there that have pretty much the same settings that are $15,000. How are they pulling this off? Well, they could be pulling it off if those specs are not accurate. So let's go over here to a little calculator. There's a few different websites that have this. Hypervibe does offer this. It's a very simple formula. Is it 100% accurate? No, but it's like 95, 94, whatever, in terms of calculating what? GForce, okay? All right, so according to them, by providing the frequency and the amplitude, I'm talking about DZT now, their machine should pull off 21.8 GForce, or I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, somewhere around there, give or take a couple Gs. Okay, wow, that's pretty high. That actually blows one of the best machines out of the water by a lot. That's a $15,000 machine, this brand I'm thinking of. So they're claiming 21 Gs that's producing for $24.99. Now, I'm not really, you know, it could possibly be that price if they weren't making much of a profit margin and they had fantastic engineering, but I'm only pointing out that the specification is not legit. That's the point of this video. Just another example. Lowest speed setting you can do on that machine is 5 hertz. If you do it at 5 hertz, you'll basically, which is really actually measures to this, you get 0.55 Gs, not even 1 G, okay. But let's say we set on, quote, 30 hertz, which is what they're claiming. Well, first thing we note is that despite what they're claiming, it only produces a max frequency of 17.5. This is actually above average. I'll give them the benefit of that. Most machines are within like the 11 to 15 range, about 90% of the machines, despite what they claim. This is actually a little slightly higher than some of the other 90%. But either way, look at that discrepancy. Wow. Okay, let's move on. Okay, the displacement, that's good. Okay, didn't expect to. Actually, it's interesting. It's actually higher than what they're claiming. Oh boy. So yeah, they did a great job with their specs. Huh? It's like it's higher. They should have been claiming 15. They claimed 12. Anyways, okay. And then this is an ultra important specification, acceleration GForce. That's where a lot of the therapeutic efficacy lies, comes from. So 9.95 Gs, okay? But what they're really claiming is 21.8. Wow, 21.8 versus 9.95. Now I will comment, I will say this, that this machine actually is better performance-wise than 90% of machines, okay? I will definitely give them that. 9 Gs is actually, comparatively to most of the low energy machines out there, good. It's better. It's better than most, which is surprising, okay? Now, for $24.99, compared to a few other brands I know of, it's not a good deal. But it definitely is more significantly, it is better than most machines. Can you do better than this for still around the same price or up into the 3,500 range? Yes, you can. You can do much better than this. Should you do much better than this if you're trying to get the same benefits as you see in the clinical studies? Yes. You should really try to shoot for, I would say, 12 Gs and higher, okay, if you're trying to get therapeutic efficacy, 12 Gs and higher. And also what is crucially important with that is at least 20 hertz, okay, at least 20 hertz. So really in the studies, and to activate certain what they call reflex responses in the body, we really have to get minimum 20 hertz. And if you can go higher than that, that would be great. But minimum really 20, and with more significant G-force behind it. So anyways, just another example, just showing discrepancies in actual specs. And so this, it's just unfortunate, you know what I mean? Because then how do you make an apples-to-apples value judgment? Do you see what I'm saying? When you're seeing the price of other machines, if you don't know the actual specifications. It's quite frustrating. Light industrial. By the way, I don't even know what that means. I don't know. I don't know what that means. If you see something in the quotes, it really does. It could be anything they made up. That's not actually referring to anything at all. Now, if it said something like commercially certified, but that also doesn't mean anything either to a certain extent. They might have special electronic certifications for safety or something, but in other words, there's no standards in this industry that say like, okay, an industrial vibration machine must have these specifications. A commercial machine must have these specifications. There's no standards like that out there. That'd be cool if there was. Doesn't exist. So, and this is just marketing, okay? But just looking at all these different health benefits here. Now, really, a lot of these benefits can happen with vibration machines. Vibration is very cool stuff. But this 10 minutes a day sort of thing, these benefits, they're always citing research studies. And also, a lot of these claims are subjective. A lot of them are true, but you always have to wonder, okay, there's many different other machines claiming the same thing, 10 minutes. You can get these benefits. Really? Really? So there's no specification standards, and you just get all these benefits regardless of what the specs are? Of course not. There's actual specification standards. So that's why it's important to know which machines produce what and to buy those machines and make sure they're aligned with certain minimums, okay? So if you need help trying to figure that out, give me a call, send me an email at healthhacksreview.com. Thanks for listening.